Hey and welcome to my full review of the REEBOK FLOATRIDE Energy SYMMETROS. So I've done a first impression review of this shoe, linked down below in the description box. And this review is a full review, so I'm going to go over the text and specs, as in what's in the upper, what's in the midsole, what's in the outsole here, and then give you my impressions of how it fared after 50 plus miles in the shoe. So first off, just to give you a brief description of what this shoe is, it's the REEBOK FLOATRIDE Energy SYMMETROS. It comes off the well-known REEBOK FLOATRIDE Energy series of shoes. It was released last year and is for the daily neutral runner. So let's get on now with the full review. Okay, so the upper of this shoe. So there's an engineered mesh upper here, together with a gusseted tongue. It's very breathable, it's very lightweight, and it's great for any type of run really. The midsole, well, the midsole here is the FLOATRIDE Energy midsole, and it also has TPU-based bead material, which helps with bounce and energy return when you're on your runs. Lastly, the outsole, you can see here that's full of rubber, and it has this unusual center of the rear stabilizing clip, and this is for giving you obviously stability while you're running, because you might see that this shoe looks a bit odd compared to other shoes in the market. The geometry is a bit weird, in a good way that is, and this just helps you roll along when you're making those quicker runs. In terms of the stack height, it's 10mm, so it's quite high. It's the same as the REEBOK FLOATRIDE Energy 3 shoe, and the price itself, you can get this from anywhere from 70 to 120 euro. I think currently on the REEBOK website it's 120 euro, but I got this for 78 euro because you could find all types of sales on that website, so do look out for those and hopefully you get this at a cheap price. So that's it for the text and specs. Let's move on and talk about how this fared for me after 50 plus miles. Okay, so how did this fare for me after 50 miles? Well, for context purposes, I use this mainly for longer, slower runs. So those long, slow runs on the Sundays, those medium runs on Wednesdays and so on and so forth. And I also try this out just to test it for speed days. So on interval sessions and tempo sessions. First off, let's stick with the slower days. I think this fared very well on those days. You know, I have no really complaints. I felt that it was light enough, that it was breathable and comfortable for those runs. The only thing I would complain about is the fact that I felt that I felt it in my knees and my feet after those longer runs, especially after those 16 to 20 mile long runs. And I think that's mainly because this isn't necessarily built for longer, slower days. It has plenty of, plenty of cushion here, but I just do feel that in comparison to other shoes I've used in the past, such as the Pegasus 37, that shoe just made my feet, knees and everything, as in they were perfect afterwards. Whereas I did feel it here, but again, not a huge complaint, and I wasn't injured or anything, just I did feel it a bit the day after. On those quicker days, so those tempo sessions, those interval sessions, I just didn't feel that this fared well. On those days, I don't think it's light enough. It's 9.6 ounces, which on speedier days, you look for kind of a lighter shoe, maybe around the 7 ounce range. And yeah, I just felt that it just didn't give me that propelling feeling that I get in other shoes that I use for tempo days or that I use for interval training session days. That being said though, it is still a quicker shoe than the FLOATRIDE Energy series, in my opinion anyway, and you can go fast in these. But again, I wouldn't necessarily recommend you go fast in these shoes. But overall, I love this shoe. It's my go-to shoe for those slower days. I wear it a lot outside of runs too, as in going to the shops and what have you. It looks great, it's very breathable, and yeah, it's a great shoe overall, and for the price you're paying as well. As I said, I paid €78 for this. Now I know it retails 120, but you can get it cheaper, as I said earlier. So for the price and everything, it's really worth your money. So I definitely give this a thumbs up. So yeah, thanks folks. That's my full review of this shoe done and dusted. And I will speak to you on the next review.